Hi everyone, greetings from sunny Tbilisi, and now today I'm interviewing Abdullah from Turkey. So nasılsın?
Thank you. I'm alright. Yeah, I'm doing fine. And how are you?
Aha, ben de iyiyim. Aha,
Perfect.
teşekkürler. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll give the word to Abdullah. Can you please talk a little bit about yourself, who you are, why we are here?
Yeah, I'm from Turkey and I do human rights work as a lawyer. And one of the areas that I focus on is LGBTI rights. So yeah, I work with the community in the cases, in their dealings with the government, etc. Yeah, that's my focus, I would say.
Okay, so you are born and you grew up in Turkey?
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Born and raised.
Okay, which city or village?
I am currently located at Ankara, and I have been in Ankara for like more than 10 years. So it's the city that I live in, and like I got accustomed to it. So yeah, it's my city. I would say.
Okay, Ankara.
Yes.
Okay, the capital.
Yes.
I've been to Istanbul only. What do you think? Which one is more attractive for people, especially for tourists, Istanbul or Ankara, and why?
I mean, Istanbul obviously has like so many different places that you can visit. Like, so much more history, so much more like natural beauties that you can see. So if you have limited time, obviously you should go to Istanbul. But still, Ankara has a nice atmosphere as well.
Okay,
But
cool.
not really for like, it's not really like a tourist place, or like a place that is nice to live for people.
Okay, okay. Yes, guys, if you have questions, you can ask your questions. Hello, Vladimir. I see your question, but the interview is in English, okay? Հայերեն մեկ-մեկ կթարգմանեմ երևի, հարցազրույց եմ վերցնում Թուրքիայից մեր մասնակիցներից մեկի հետ, հա, այս մեր event-ի. So tap եւ like here, okay? Now, in Istanbul we have an Armenian community. How about Ankara? Is there anything Armenian?
I'm not sure. Like we have some churches and some.
In Ankara?
Yes.
Armenian churches?
We have some Catholic,
Catholic.
some Protestant churches. I'm not sure if we have one that is for Armenian people. And the city itself is like only 100 years old, so we don't have actually like a community of Armenians that are living in there, going back as opposed to Istanbul.
Okay, okay.
Maybe there is, but I'm not sure if there is like a huge population. It's most likely they are in Istanbul and other cities compared to Ankara.
Okay, okay. I just wonder, as an LGBT or person who works with LGBT questions, do you see LGBT Armenians there in Ankara or Istanbul?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like I'm working in an organization called Lambda Istanbul, which has been active for like 30 years, and like we have volunteers that are
Yes.
both Armenian and queer. So yeah, we have like some connections.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but I think as far as I know, like the Armenian community is not that accepting of LGBTI people.
Yeah.
Which is like similar to the general Turkish population.
Lambda Istanbul, yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's the name.
So it can be hard for them to like be out and proud.
But you have come across some LGBT Armenians,
Yes,
they are
yes,
involved.
yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Armenians are kind of conservative. Would you say that Turkish people are more tolerant than Armenians living in Turkey?
I don't know. I wouldn't say anything certain.
Yeah.
But like in general, the general society is conservative, which I would think is similar with the Armenian population.
Yeah.
And there is this obvious effect of the religion, which tends to have like conservative overtones.
Yes.
And since it's also like a small community, it can be hard to like be out.
Yeah.
When you have so many people that are knowing you, so it can be harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there was one comment. Yeah, Okay, if you'd like to, you can answer. If not, you can just skip. Does our Turkish friend recognize the Armenian genocide? And you're a lawyer, you know the laws in Turkey, yes? So
Yeah.
would you like to talk about it or shall we skip it?
I mean, it's not like my personal place to recognize it or not, but I think it's just like an historical fact that it has happened. Yeah, but it like the discourse surrounding the issue has been changing. Like decades ago, it was much harder to talk about it, but like 10 to 20 years ago, it was sometimes easier with like the liberalization of the country.
Yeah.
But now the political atmosphere is getting once again more nationalist and more conservative, so it's getting harder to talk about it. For example, we have some human rights organizations that are like making press statements about the anniversary of the genocide, and they're
Yes.
being prosecuted
Oh.
as if according to the laws that say that you like insult the government, the people, etc.
Yeah, the Turkish identity. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
name of the law.
Yeah, it's like a specific article in the criminal law. Yeah, it changes depending on the political context. Sometimes there was like very harsh cases of like courts and penalties, but sometimes it's more easier to talk about it. But again, I think once again it's getting harder to talk about it.
Okay, I just wonder. I'm curious myself. So now, when you say, well, it's a historical fact, it happened. Aren't you kind of risking to fall under that law, or you think?
I mean, I don't. I mean, as long as I don't really like see this interview, I would be okay. I would say, yeah. And I mean, in general, like in the end, you kind of like get acquitted, so you don't really get penalized, but it like changes from like case to case. But in general, it's more like a legal process where they like tire you down, where it affects you negatively.
Yeah.
But in the end, it doesn't. It's not just like always penalized.
So at the end, you are punished by fine, or you can be also jailed. In general.
In general, I would say you would be set free and you would have no fine.
Oh.
But like the court dealings itself are like a problem.
Yeah. It's wearing. Yeah, it can last for several years, I guess.
Yes. Like similar to other cases, so it's like a process where the system like tears you down.
Yeah.
But it's not certain that you would just like get any criminal punishment in the end.
Thank you. So, guys, sometimes I'll just say a few words in Armenian so that they understand. So, Vladimir, քո հարցը կարդացինք, ինքը պատասխանեց, Mr. Sierra, merci շատ լայքերի համար, tap արեք էկրանը, եւ ընդհանուր ով ինչ կուզենա թարգմանվի, կարող եք կոմենտներ նշել, ես հենց մեկ-մեկ մի փոքր հայերենով կասեմ, okay, մեր հյուրը Թուրքիայից է, Անկարայում է ապրում, եւ հարցազրույցը ուղղակի սենց Հայաստան, Թուրքիա, տարածաշրջան, LGBT թեմաներ, այդ ամենն է. All right, now Abdullah, how about Armenia-Turkey relations? You, as a young man, yeah? How do you perceive Armenia? Like, it's your eastern neighbor? Do you know much about it? Are you interested in coming there, or it's just somewhere far away from you?
Again, it's like a historical process where like the relations changed from time to time. We had a situation where like the border was closed, and then we had talks about the border being open and like things getting and things getting easier in terms of like moving from one country to another. But I don't think that we have that much relations with the country itself. Like we have some civil society events and organizations where some people go to Armenia or come from Armenia. But in general, I would say it's like a neighbor that we have, but that we don't really that much interact with. It's just over there.
It's over there, yes. You haven't been to Armenia?
No, I haven't had the chance.
I'm just curious, yeah, you or maybe your friends of yours, is Armenia perceived as a place for tourists? Like, would they plan, like, let's go and see Yerevan, or not really?
I mean, maybe they would. I'm not sure. There is this backwards idea that like it can be hard to be a tourist there if you are a Turkish person, etc. But I don't think that like many people would like believe it so much that they won't go. But I think in general the idea is that there isn't that much to see, so we don't really know that much about, for example, the historical and archaeological places, etc.
Okay.
So it's not just like in general. It's not really that much considered of as like a place to visit.
Okay, thank you. So մեր հյուրը ասեց, ես հարցրեցի հետաքրքիր է իրանք Հայաստանը դիտարկում են որպես տուրիստական տես որ տեղ գալու գնալու համար, ասեց այդքան էլ չէ, որովհետև դաժե փաստերը հայտնի չի ունես տպավորություն է, այսինքն ինֆո չկա Հայաստանի մասին Թուրքիայում, ու չգիտենք ինչ կարանք տենանք, պատմություն, բաներ արխեոլոգիական հայտ գտածոները, հնագիտական եւ այլն եւ այլն։ Հիմա ես Նիկոլի աջակիցի հարցը կտամ. So there is a question. One user is asking you, what do you think about the politics of Erdogan in general?
Well, he has been in power for like more than 20 years now. Like closing on 25 years. And like there was a period where in the process of like getting closer with European Union, things were like getting more liberal.
Yeah.
But in the last 10 years, the country has been getting more and more authoritarian, like more religious and nationalist overtones. So we have a very authoritarian government, I would say. Yeah, that's like the gist of it.
Yeah. And am I right that Erdogan is also kind of tearing down the I don't know, shall I call it the cult or the respect towards Atatürk? Is it true that Erdogan is kind of against the idea that Atatürk
I mean, it changes like based on the different circumstances. I wouldn't say that he has like one policy that is like solid.
Yeah.
Rather, it changes from situation to situation.
Okay.
Like the historical political background that he comes from is not as sympathetic to Atatürk.
Yeah.
But in general, as like a statesperson, he has been reluctant to say negative things about him. So obviously, like he is less of a like Republican nationalist in the sense that like other parties have more respect for Atatürk, but again, he doesn't really say that much negative stuff about him. So I think he tries to like have a balanced approach.
Okay.
He still like commemorates him, says that they are they respect him, etc. But these are also part of like being part of the state, being like an official statesperson, etc.
It's the protocol.
Yeah. So he isn't like a radical in that sense, I would say.
All right. So ինքը ընդհանուր Էրդողանին չի աջակցում, կարանք ասենք դիտարկում է որպես ավելի բռնապետ ու վերջին մոտ 10 տարին ասում է ավելի բռնապետական է դառնում Էրդողանի կառավարումը. So you said, yes, I'm making sure I'm translating correctly, that Erdogan is becoming more and more totalitarian, yeah?
Yeah, I mean the country in his like leading is getting more authoritarian.
Yeah. Ավելի տոտալիտար է դառնում Էրդողանի կառավարման ընթացքում, yeah? So Vladimir is also asking, how many years have you been studying English?
I don't know, maybe like 10-15 years.
Okay. All right. Now I'll ask another question myself and then I'll read this other question. Okay, Նիկոլի աջակից հետո կկարդամ հեսա ձեր հարցը, մի հարց ինձնից տամ 10-15 տարի մոտավոր. All right. I'm just curious, when Armenia and Azerbaijan war was happening, you and also people around you, what was kind of your perception? Were you like, oh, it's so good that Azerbaijan took back its occupied territories? Because internationally these were occupied territories, yeah? So I'm not a nationalist, you can talk freely, okay?
I mean, I'm not...
Or you were like looking from a side, well, it's not my thing, I'm in Turkey, yeah.
I mean, personally, I'm not like positioning myself anywhere near being a nationalist, but I think the general sentiment was that like our brothers in Azerbaijan was getting their like rightful place, they were winning the war. Again, like the idea is that like Armenians are always bad, they are like attacking civilians, etc., and like these lands were ours, and like there is this whole idea of like being very close with Azerbaijan.
Yes.
So I think the general sentiment was just that. It's like I'm not sure if there were even like that many like people that were against, for example, what happened in the war. They had like very limited voice, maybe in like some civil society organizations or something. But the general sentiment was just that the country and the entire people was with Azerbaijan.
Yes. You would say that you also perceived like, okay, it's good because historical justice is restored, the lands are
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that much about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I would, I don't know, maybe distance myself from the whole thing
Okay.
because I mean, since it's like an issue that has to do with nationalism,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to like get the facts right. Where you have like media coverage that is all one-sided, etc.
Okay, thank you. Ես հարցնում եի Հայաստան-Ադրբեջան կոնֆլիկտի ժամանակ ոնց էր իր վերաբերմունքը, ինքը օրինակ ուրախ էր, որ Ադրբեջանը իր տարածքներն է հետ վերցրում, հա, դե միջազգայինորեն էլ դա օկուպացված տարածքներ, ինքը ասում է, ես ինձ հեռու եմ պահում, ընդհանուր ժողովրդի մեջ էր այդ զգացողությունը, որ լավ է, ճիշտ է, արդարությունը վերականգնվում է, Ադրբեջանը իր հողերն է հետ վերցնում, բայց ինքը անձամբ ասում է, ես ինձ հեռու եմ պահում ու տենց չասեց, որ ինքն էր այդ տիպի ոնց որ բան էլի, ուրախ կամ կողմ այդ բանին, ես դա չեմ տենց ասի ինքը ինձ տենց մեկնաբանեց, ասեց ես տենց չի ասի. So հիմա Նիկոլի աջակից. Now the question is, what do you think about the territory of northern Cyprus? Is it legal, the presence of the Turkish army, is it legal there or not? North.
Well, once again, this is like a hot topic, and it's like has lots of overtones of like nationalism,
Yeah.
irredentism, etc. So it's
Yeah, go on.
so it's kind of like hard to look at this issue from like a legal sense, but like it is not recognized as belonging to Turkey in the like international law sense. And there have been, I think, some cases in European Court of Human Rights where, like Turkish government have been like found in violation of the convention because they like didn't respect the property rights of people that were living there, etc. But yeah, once again, it's like an issue that is like very one-sided.
Yeah.
You only see media coverage that is just is in line with the government position, etc. Yeah, so this, I think, this is thought of in like in the public as if this is an issue that where we are right and the whole world is against us.
Yeah. I see. So իրա պատասխանը այնա, որ օրինակ եվրոպական դատական մի գործ ա եղել, որը ասել է, որ Թուրքիան չի հարգել այդ տեղի, հա, Կիպրոսի հյուսիսային Կիպրոսի բնակիչների սեփականության իրավունքը, Թուրքիայում էլ թեման ներկայացում անենց, որ սա բանը մենք ճիշտ ենք, աշխարհը սխալ է, նո մեր այդ Ղարաբաղյան բանի նման էլի, բայց էլի ինքը իր սեփական տեսակետը չասեց, որ սենց է կամ սենց չի, հա, ուղղակի ասեց, որ Թուրքիայում մենք հիմնականում տենում ենք պետության այդ բանը էլի, ոնց է պետությունը դրա մասին խոսում, որը շատ միակողմանի է, հա?
And I can add something like it's interesting that like the general sentiment in the public is not that attuned to like to the voice of people that are living in northern Cyprus as well. Like when people that are living there, like people from Turkish origin, when they talk about like wanting to be one state with like the southern part, or when they are talking about how the relations with Turkey is like detrimental to them, etc. The idea in general is like, I think I would say negative towards these people. Like the country, the public itself sees like these people and these lands as like an extension of the republic. So they don't really like it when the people that are living there are like advocating for like a one-state solution or something like that. Yeah, so there's like a negative sentiment, even against people that are of Turkish origin living there, when they are not in the line of the official stance regarding the issue.
So այնտեղ նաև բացական վերաբերմունք կա այն մարդկանց հանդեպ, ովքեր որ կառավարության այդ բանին չեն հետևում, էլի մի քիչ ուրիշ ձև են իրանց պահում. Yeah, it's very similar to Armenia. Everywhere the blueprint is the same for nationalism. Yes. Yes. All right. Now, how do Turks Turkish people maybe or citizens feel about Palestine. Maybe you could also give your viewpoint. Do you support any side, either of them?
I mean, obviously, I think what Israel has been doing has been amounted to genocidal plans, I would say, as accordance with like the decision by the International Court of Justice.
What's that decision about?
About like preliminary like measures that would like stop Israel from taking certain actions that would make this war a genocide. And I think in general the public itself is in line with the Palestinian struggle, as it can be called, but it changes from from ideology to ideology. The general sentiment is that Palestinian people are like our brothers and sisters in Islam, so therefore we respect and we like support them. But we also have some leftist strands where they talk about Palestine in like a context and in like a mechanism of imperialism, and like how Israel has not been following the international law, etc. So it changes. There is this Islamic sentiment where the support for Palestine comes from like their shared religion with us, and there's also some other like more leftist or more liberal, I would say, sides where again, it's seen as a situation of where like a bigger colonizing country occupies land, etc.
Okay, thank you. So, ընդհանուր ժողովուրդը ավելի շատ Պաղեստինի կողմից է եւ ընդհանուր տպավորությունը զգացողությունը Թուրքիայում են, որ պաղեստինցիները մեր քույրերն ու եղբայրներն են որպես մահմեդականներ եւ Իսրայելի դեմ նաեւ բանա այդ միջազգային մի բան ա եղել, դատական գործ, որտեղ Իրան ասել են հայինքը գործողություններից, որոնց պետք է զերծ մնա, որոնք տանում են ցեղասպանության, այդ իմաստով իրանց մոտ Իսրայելը դիտարկվում է որպես ավելի ցեղասպանող, բայց մեկ-մեկ դա փոխվում է ժամանակ առ ժամանակ, չնայած ընդհանուր բանը էդ է, ատմոսֆերան էդ է. And you personally, do you have a stance is there clear black and white, Israel is wrong, Palestine is right, or should there be a two-state solution, like your personal viewpoint?
Well, that's obviously like a hot button issue, but yeah, I would say that the government of Israel has been violating international human rights agreements in the operations that they do against Hamas, but I obviously also don't support anything that Hamas does in terms of targeting civilians, etc. So sometimes I would say the deadlines get blurry in the Turkish perception. It's kind of seen as like a black and white issue, where one side is just doing everything right and one side is doing everything wrong. But I would just position myself as there is the general idea and how it plays out, but also there are similar smaller acts where it can be judged as right or wrong, and it happens to both sides.
Okay, thank you. Your answers are so diplomatic. In Armenia, we have this perception that Turks are excellent diplomats, and now you're holding that.
When you're talking about when you're asking questions, I'm thinking about articles in the criminal code about insulting the president, insulting the government, etc.
Of course. Yeah. It's kind of beautiful how you follow that line, and I'm not saying it as a negative thing.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes, but sometimes I'm like, I would like to hear his own opinion. That is thinking the way. Okay, so ընդհանուր ես էլի փորձեցի անձնական կարծիքը Իրանից ճշտեմ, ինքը ասեց ես տենում եմ, որ Իսրայելը որոշ բաներ խախտել է, այդ բաները միջազգային, բայց չեմ նաև աջակցում են ինչը Համասն է անում, քաղաքացիներին թիրախավորել է եւ այլն, ու ինչի վրա ենք ծիծաղում, որ ասում են դու շատ դիպլոմատիկ պատասխաններ ես տալիս, ու ասեցի, որ Հայաստանում այդ ընկալումը մենք ունենք, որ թուրք ժողովուրդը թուրքերը вообще շատ լավ դիպլոմատներ են, դրա վրա ենք ծիծաղում. Okay, maybe a few more things and we can finish so that you can walk and stuff. Ցեղասպանության մասին մենք խոսացինք, ինքը ասեց, որ իր կարծիքով դա իրողությունն է, փաստավորը տեղի է ունեցել, Does he understand Armenian words?
I mean, do we even have like common words?
Common words, yes. I think you will understand haram.
Yes.
Arabic, probably.
Yes.
In Armenian, we have göz, dnel. Göz, yeah, aşk. It's the eye. Shuka, shuk, market. Do you say it?
Shuka.
Bazar.
Yeah, we say pazar.
Bazar. And shuka, shuk, no?
No.
Okay.
We have markets.
Toprak, like cellophane packets. Toprak, do you say it?
Toprak is soil.
No. Okay. We have some words like that.
Yeah. But I can't really think of them at the moment, so I I don't really get anything.
Yes. Oh, okay. Maila, he wrote. Do you have Maila? Like street?
No.
But Meydan, you have Meydan.
Yes, we have Meydan.
Meydan. Zibil, do you have that word? Garbage.
It's a word, but it's, I think, meaning something else.
Yeah.
It's like referring to a large quantity.
Very
We have
good.
like a zibil of things. It's like having lots of things.
Zibil մի քիչ ուրիշ ձևով կա. And sus.
Yes, we have.
Sus, they have sus. Okay, and Nardivan. Nardivan is like the stairs for climbing up.
Merdivan, we call it.
Merdivan.
Okay. I think it's the same word.
Alright, so yes, there are some words. Okay, ժողովուրդ, շատ շնորհակալություն, ես հիմա իրան բաց թողնեմ, որտեվ մեր մոտ է շարունակում է կոնֆերանսը։ Մենք Թբիլիսիում ենք, LGBT թեմաներով հավաքված, հետո այս նույն ինտերվյուն կլինի նաև YouTube-ում, կարող եք այնտեղ հարցեր, կոմենտներ գրել, ինքնաճանաչում եւ անձնային աճ, եթե ճիշտ եմ հիշում Ալիքիս անունը, գրեք անձնային նամակով, ես ձեզ կտամ, okay, thank you, high five everyone, thank you so much for the interview, high five to you as well, it was nice chatting with you,
Yeah, me too.
and yes, me and Abdullah will be here for 2 more days, see you. Okay.